to highlight the entire row, if I have to highlight the entire row, then of course I'll have to apply the formatting for the entire range. That's quite obvious. Now I go to conditional formatting and I go to new rule. So I have to write a formula for this. So use a formula, right? Now, what do I write? I say equals, okay, equals date D26, all right? But I am going to unlock 26, the same logic. And I'm going to lock D, okay? And then say equals the cell where I have given the date. This, of course, both locked because I don't want this to change. So look at this. Okay.
So one question here, can we input the date here directly?
Let me finish and then I'll take your question.
Okay? Sir, can you zoom?
Can I zoom?
It's not
that I can. Yeah, sure. Okay. So format, do some formatting. I don't know, maybe fill with this color, something, right? Okay. Right. So there you go. Now I can take out the magnification. And you can see that these cells, all 25th of May, I have been able to highlight. Yeah, now for the question, I think, which was, can I just type a date there? Well, you can, but the problem is, how do you ensure that Excel understands that this is a date and not just a string? See, that's the problem. I guess you must have faced the problem already. So this is a date, right? Whereas if you try to type it, then Excel would find it difficult to understand what it is that you've done. Is it a text or is it a date, and so on and so forth, right? So what you have to do is you have to explicitly mention or do something to ensure that Excel understands that it's a date. So now think about the date functions that we have done and see if you can use those concepts here to hard code the date. Okay. However, I'd always suggest you do it as an input from a cell, because it always becomes a problem in conditional formatting. Okay, it always becomes a problem in conditional formatting. It's so much easier to change it here and make these things change. So if I just, as you can see, if I just make it 27, see, immediately this changes. I don't really have to go to that conditional formatting box and change. Okay.
So one more question.
So, now hold on. If I finish, let me finish. Now, one more thing before you. In fact, the one that the person was asking, highlight cells only this cell, these two cells based on date. Now, I'm not going to do that and show it to you. I'm sure you can understand how to do it. I mean, you can figure out how to do it, right? But this is how you highlight the entire row. Now, if you have to highlight just one cell, okay, a few cells of one column, then it is not mandatory for you to write a formula. For example, you can do above average cells and all that stuff without a formula. But if you're asked to highlight the entire row, then you cannot do it without a formula. Okay, which is why I'm doing the tougher stuff, so that you can easily follow. I mean, you can easily extrapolate it and do the easier one. Okay, now I'm sure you can do the average and you can do the Yeah, that's just average given. I'll do top 3 and Joe and greater than 500. Okay, let me first do top 3 and then let's see if I need to tell you how to do Joe and 500. But before that, let's understand how this conditional formatting thing works. Well, you see, whatever you write in the formula, this is what it is. Yeah. So whatever you write in the formula must evaluate to either true or false. Okay. If it evaluates to true, it is formatted. If it's evaluated to false, it's not formatted. Okay. So that's how the thing works. Okay. Now let me now show you how this thing works, how this formula works, so that all your doubts, if you have any, gets clarified. So let me just do it out here. I'll have to reduce the magnification a bit just for a few moments, and then I'll do it again. So the formula that I wrote was $D26 equals M23, right? That's what I wrote. Now let me quickly magnify. Okay, there are 7 columns, if I am correct. Yes, there are 7 columns, and I will be dragging it all the way. So here, this is what? Okay, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's the full range. Okay, that's the full range. Now look at this. Everything else is false, as you can see, but these are the 2 cells where everything is true. That's the reason why this gets highlighted. Everything else remain as it is. Okay. Now change this date and make it, I don't know, 28, I guess is one. See? Now all these are true. Okay. And therefore all these are formatted. So this is exactly what happens when conditional formatting is evaluating the formula. Okay. That's how the thing works. So I hope if you had any doubts, it's clarified now.